Halo semuanya, balik lagi ke channel Coach Noob. Kita akan menyaksikan game selanjutnya ini. Kin Gaming akan berhadapan dengan Infamous Gaming di lower bracket match main event hari pertama. Seperti biasa, lower bracket di sini yang kalah akan langsung tereliminasi dan yang menang akan lanjut ke fase selanjutnya di lower bracket. Tapi kali ini coach nggak akan nge-cash karena mau istirahat dulu, mau makan, mau beraktivitas dulu yang lainnya. Nanti game terakhir Navi lawan Mineski baru akan di-cash lagi. Sekarang lanjut aja, kita akan masuk ke game ya dan di-cash langsung dengan English casternya.
He would go battle free, and the other half he would just like fight early and let old 11 farm.
So one of the concerns of Infamous in the group stage was they kind of picked similar strategies in most of their games. They would have Hector on a Midas Radiance carry. If not, he was still on a Midas carry, and he would kind of farm and maybe go pick off. And Raking's his top 2 carries of the tournament right now.
Okay.
He's one of the few teams and few players that picks it, and they already pick it.
Would you say it's 100% his hero? They're not going to do anything weird, put it as a support or anything like that?
I don't think they would. I think Hector's a beast on that hero. He's gotten, I think, like 12, 13-minute Radiance Midas. It's crazy what he does in that hero.
So I was talking about comfort heroes. I think those 2 heroes, it's a little bit weird that we're seeing the cores too early, but those 2 heroes are definitely Infamous's comfort heroes.
You would rather see a team picking to their comfort zone than just, you know, picking what's meta or what other teams are picking.
Yeah, I mean, look at OG last year. Like, even though the
Even this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wisp carry, you know.
Yeah, even though like the game looks good for a certain hero, it's not good like if you can't play 100% on that hero. So
I mean, I think that's something every team is taking away because we're seeing the same from Pete. First to pick PA, that's kind of unheard of. I don't think many people coming into this TI would have expected to rate PA highly, let alone the first 2 pick.
yeah, I like it. These teams, they're going out with a bang. They're going out with heroes. Like one of them's gonna get eliminated, sadly. So one of them, they're gonna get eliminated with their best heroes.
Well, King Gaming at Kunkka is something that they were usually prioritizing in the first 2, but slipping through to the second stage. Some flexibility here with the mid as well as off lane. It's no longer just that mid lane specialist.
It also deals with Raking skeletons. If you ever try to push your tower one Tidebringer, you kind of clear them all down. Gives you X marks the spot, is really good against all these melee kind of kiteable carries like Sven, Raking, Troll. You kind of X the carry, he gets pulled back, you know, he waits 4 seconds, so the initial fight, he gets torrented, that's another second, boated, that's another second. Now half the fight is over and he's just stood in one place.
Yeah. Are there certain mids that you like to play against the Kunkka? We saw Liquid use the Necrophos gunner. What else comes to mind when you see a Kunkka in the
Well, the infamous mid laner Chris Luck, all his heroes are actually really good against Kunkka.
Okay.
He really likes playing Slark mid, he really likes playing Monkey mid, he plays a decent amount of Ember mid. So I think these heroes, he's gonna probably pick one of them. He has a comfort pick. I don't know if now, because they've already picked 2 cores, but later I like to see a Slark so far.
Slark already banned out in the second stage. I think they were ready for that. They've obviously done their homework and seen and play that mid slot.
What I'm kind of worried for them is the Infamous's mid heroes. They're usually a single target, and right now Enchantress single target, Raze King single target. So I'm kind of worried for their team fight if their mid is a single target.
Yeah, and whatever mid they pick, King Gaming with the final pick of the draft gets that kind of counter pick if they want to go knock off.
Yeah, right now I would say Infamous is they're thinking about how to not get out team fought. And they aim Tusk. Tusk is pretty good against PA. Can control the PA's BKB pretty nice.
Also good against Kunkka. You can dodge his X combos on your cores if you get a snowball. I think it's also a comfort hero. They're kind of picking all their comfort heroes right now. It's a Schofield. He's played that hero a lot.
Nothing we've seen in this draft is like, ooh, that's new for this team. So, I mean, a good sign overall as far as playing on the TI main stage. This is Infamous's first TI ever for all of these players. So, definitely some pressure, even though obviously there's not expectations from a lot of fans for this team to go far.
It's a little interesting Rubick pick, I think. There's not many good spells to steal. It's mostly Wraithing Stun's kind of the best that, you know, shouts out to me, but I think there might be a comfort hero for their 4.
Yeah, they already have a team 5 on their mid player, Kunkka, so Kaka plays a beastly Rubick. Always I think it's an all-around position 4. It kind of suits everything, you know. So,
Do you feel good playing Rubik even in these games where there's no amazing spells to steal?
as long as there's a team fight, I think it's okay because it's an instant stun. It counters like it doesn't counter BKB, but you can like lift him and kind of burst him because right now, they do have a lot of burst from PA, Tide, PA, Kunka. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, just a lift into like maybe a dasher from the PA or even a torrent from the Kunkka.
You
with
just
a
gotta be careful when be aware of toxic seed.
This makes things a bit different. Are we seeing Batrider support here? What's the expectation with this hero pick? A mid laner, an off laner, putting entrance support? Because
Some teams this tournament run Enchantress 5, and they try to pull it away from like 3 if it looks like a bad game.
okay,
I'm not sure if I've seen Infamous do that with the Enchantress, but I know Whisper also likes to play Batrider a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. It's more surprising that Whisper is not playing Enchantress
Yeah.
than they're putting him
I
on the
think
bat.
this feels like a good hero to play against the PA in lane. You can kind of bully her maybe.
It's good against all the heroes. Rubik is okay against it, but like stealing any of his spells are pretty bad. Besides Lasso,
Yeah,
it's
so-
easy to defend it too. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Enchantress Race King pick kind of makes sense now because 2 of them can't be core.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the switch up that Infamous catch Keen by surprise. Yeah, they first picked this Enchantress that they've only run core primarily. Keen Gaming counterpick it, and it's like, hey, Ench is no longer a core hero. We're going to just play it as a support.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried for the Batrider's game because there's Rubik and Kunka on the other side of the team. In the team fight, Batrider is going to have a very hard time initiating and pulling away the targets. There's X, there's the instant Rubik lift when he blinks into Lasso. So yeah, he's got to really snowball off the lanes here against the PA.
The other thing that's really scary for Infamous right now is both of Keen's cores really like to go BKB early, and BKB is really good against all the 4 heroes of Infamous right now. Batrider doesn't do anything to you besides Lasso. Tusk can only punch you. Enchantress, she just dies in a couple hits. Wraith King, sure, he can live through BKB. He'll be able to fight after it, but the others, I'm a little scared of this Kunkka and this PA get an early BKB.
Are Infamous looking to get something that either deals with BKBs or gives them some more team fight? Because it feels like they do not match up to Keen Gaming in terms of team fight right now.
Yeah, all of them are single targets, so I'm kind of worried about that. I think they need a team fight hero in the last pick.
I think they could also pick one of his heroes that goes on the backline.
Yep.
He always picks these like heroes that are more melee than range, and he picks more like assassin type heroes. These heroes that go in, try to kill a support in the backline, maybe disengage, re-engage on the fight.
That's
So
what some of those bans are targeted at,
Yeah.
like the Ember, the Slark.
Ember, Slark, even like Tiny if they've ever run a mid. This Rubik and this Witch Doctor I think are most important. I think this Kunkka and the PA, once they get the BKBs, they're gonna have to focus the Rage King. Hector's gonna get some Midas, some Radiance. He's gonna have to be their front line. And once he is on the front line, they're gonna have to be scared. And I think Chris Lux here is gonna have to kind of, utilize that being scared.
Templar Assassin. You literally has Assassin in the name.
Yeah. I like it. It matches up well versus Kunkka mid. The only bad thing is if you get torrented, you lose your refraction, but neither here can deny anymore.
Okay.
So the
yeah.
lane's actually a real lane now.
Everyone gets to farm.
Yeah.
It's amazing against Witch Doctor Rubik too. Those 2 squishy supports.
Even PA, you like going Bloodthorn or MKB on the hero since you basically only go physical, like pure physical damage on their items.
Yeah, so you have a way to deal with the evasion of the PA, so. All right, well, that's a pick that's going to give Keen Gaming some questions to answer here with their 10th pick of the draft. They have that flexibility with Kunkka, so we could see the Kunkka go to the offlane if they want to, and they can pick up a mid, or they can stick with the mid Kunkka, grab an offlaner. That's what Infamous think. They found out back.
This Batrider pick is actually so cool from Infamous. If you think about it, it kind of bans Keen's Batrider. Because normally you want a Batrider versus TA. His Sticky Napalm and Firefly go through the refraction really quickly. So Infamous taking the bat is also, I think, another ban that they get from Keen.
Yep.
Which is really smart.
Keen Gaming looking to use up all that reserve time, thinking through their options.
The most ideal pick for King Gaming, I think, here would be some tower hitter from Old 11. Right now, they're kind of lacking the tempo maker / tower hitter. Sure, Kunkka can make some tempo, but I think they are lacking on the tower hit department.
I feel like there's not many offlaners that bring that to the table, though.
What about an Underlord?
King Gaming likes Underlord, so I can see that happening.
He builds Halberd, he can build Pipe pretty easily, has a way to deal with the skeletons in the early game.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Omni Knight, though. Blocking all that physical damage. Do you guys like this as a last pick? How do you feel this
like
rounds out their draft?
The GA is going to stop the BKB timing from the TA in the mid game. He can stop the Bat Rider lasso as well. I give an edge to him. To the King draft.
I think King Gaming realizes this Race King is gonna go Midas Radiance, gonna be very late, so they're gonna up the tempo. I'm gonna be very surprised if PA sees.
This guy has no chill. Yo, this guy
we are going to have those lane swaps. And what Hector did, he's hanging around the mid lane. He's finally going to head down to bottom. They want Old 11 in that matchup against Backfighter, I believe, but he is going to be gone on almost immediately. Fortunately, that Heavenly Grace will manage to spare him from all the sticky napalms that he had on him, as well as the slow that comes out from Rayfire Blast after the stun fades.
And I always say that you need a few all-star performances just to make things easier for yourself, and Hector is definitely a player that they need that kind of performance from. Was completely dominant in the groups, had such a good run. We need that from him again if you're a South American Dota fan.
Chasing down Old Chicken, getting a lot of damage out from Schofield. Whisper and Schofield, they've been quite the deadly duo, almost finishing off Old Chicken there. This is an aggressive duo that's going to make a lot of space for their hard carries to both Chris Luck and Hector.
And this is one of the few times where we're going to see Whisper actually prioritize in the laning phase cap. So many times during the group stage, they sort of just fed him to the wolves, made him get into some 1v3 situation as Schofield just try to secure Hector's farm.
And on the other side, we've got an mid matchup. We've got Yeez Kunkka against Chris Luck. A player who had just an outstanding performance at ESL 1 Manila. Looks to be like one of those talents who could definitely see a long history in Dota 2 given his start here.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely dominant in India. Just worked pretty much everybody. I remember he had one of the highest first blood rates.
Oh yeah.
He would just solo kill by level 4 almost every single time.
He was just outplaying everyone.
And he was definitely their star there. They're going to need a performance like that from him, especially in a best-of-1 situation. Something I noticed about Infamous in the group stage is oftentimes they would win the first game, sort of get figured out a little bit more in game number 2. So maybe this best-of-1 format could help them, but we'll see. It feels like Keen sort of had a hard read going for the first pick PA.
Yeah.
It feels like they kind of expected the type of heroes that Hector could play and felt like PA was going to be good against both of them as they make the rotation down to bottom. Kaka already has 5 stacks on him, getting pretty low.
The Purification doing so much damage. The Heavenly Grace is enough for a few more seconds, but Infamous give up on the dive.
Omni Knight still farming just fine under his tower.
I expect this matchup to really break down looking at some of these heroes.
I think the Enchantress is not as good against the PA as they think it is.
Yeah.
PA has Blur, she has the ability to gap close against you, so she can't just chuck impetus shots at you. More importantly, a lot of the attack speed slow that you get from the Untouchable gets negated by the fact that she can just Stifling Dagger you, and the bonus attack speed that you get from the Phantom Strike too. Enchantress just sort of has a low HP pull. She really relies on that Untouchable, and PA can definitely burst you.
Yeah, this is definitely a situation where Keen kind of got the lanes that they want, right? They got the Omni Knight versus that Bat Rider. The Bat Rider unable to pressure the hard carry of Keen, and then the PA in turn can do potentially a lot of work against Whisper, but we're seeing that Schofield is having a significant impact in the lane thanks to his tag team.
This mid lane matchup relatively even ever since they took away the deny mechanic at bottom lane.
Toss back, Hex. Just trying to deal with this pull that was happening from Keen. Either team would love to be able to pick up a kill in the next like 10 seconds, as we do have the bounty runes spawning, and I'm thinking Schofield should be able to secure at least one from top, so we'll see what Hector and Stinger are able to do in this bottom lane.
Almost feels like Schofield should just rotate towards that bottom lane. I don't know how much he gets accomplished in top. Believe you just want Whisper to just get levels right now. He's gonna make his way towards the rune, gonna find the sentry.
Yeah, it looks like the aggro dual lane should be able to get the 2, and Tuss secures another one on the other side of the map, so that's gonna be 3 for Infamous, including that. The mid lane match, 33-5 now for Chris Luck against Yeez Kunkka, 28-5. Is this how this matchup is supposed to go now that some of the deny mechanics have been taken away?
Oh yeah, normally you'd see the TA at like 12 denies at this point, but because the deny mechanic's been taken away, the Kunkka does just fine. The only thing that's sort of annoying for him in fight, just because it's so hard for him to burn out refraction charges.
Perhaps that's part of the reason he's on for a bottle, and Ferry's been spending a lot of time in that mid lane. We'll see whether or not he can get the 6-minute rune.
I think part of the reason why he decided to go for the bottle is so he could play around the power rune, just ink out the side lanes. He doesn't really have a support that can rotate in and get an easy kill from him in mid lane.
Yeah, Witch Doctor and Rubik both kind of, they don't have great amount of kill power solo, right?
And Schofield gonna make the
Quite low. This could be our first blood. Sobol coming in. He does manage to pick up Hector, but Hector does get burned out. Kaka secures the first blood before he goes down. 11 with the Heavenly Grace is actually going to turn and fight Stinger back. Even with the Firefly up, Omni Knight remains unafraid of the flames.
Chris Luck finds DD rune at bottom lane.
Oh, with the double trap slow. Is he really going to dive? Oh, Yee! Miss micro there. Leaves the courier right behind his hero. That just sets up for a clean side blades kill.
That's just one of those situations where you don't, it never happens.
Yeah. You just don't really think about it until it's too late.
Oh, he just sent it directly back. Didn't even bother microing it. Thought he was fine. He's going to make the rotation back towards bottom. That's what I expected, for him to try to get aggressive into the side lanes. Plus, I think that's a little bit of a tilt move.
It's just not fair.
Getting a kill on a Tusk at that point doesn't even feel
Don't
good.
be mad.
Yeah.
But once you mess up in that situation, you want to make the play that recovers it.
Stun out. Hector Schofield moving forward with Stinger. But again, feeling like they just really can't pressure this last pick on the night. They came out from Keen that was supposed to be able to address both the physical damage that comes out from the Wraith King and the TA, while also providing a dispel against this Bat Rider.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but as an offlaner at bottom,
No, just quickly takes away that Ray Fire Blast slow damage over time, and again, is able to push back Infamous. They really just can't get aggressive like they want to.
if you're playing Omni in a game like this, normally the only time that your game is actually ruined is if your laning phase is bad, right?
Yeah.
And if you get the levels, your heroes sort of just become unkillable anyways.
Yeah, it's like one of the great situations both the Bat and Omni are in, right? It's like, as long as I get to level 3 and level 5, I'm just going to feel more and more powerful.
Don't be
This is
mad.
one thing, by the way, that Infamous does more than almost any other team. They stack the living hell out of the jungle.
Yeah.
They make sure, Hector, don't worry how your laning phase goes. You're going to get recovered in some way or another. This is exactly how they do it.
And this is one of the things that we said is like, sometimes, you know, they would just leave Whisper in these really terrible lanes, but it's not a bad idea to give Whisper a good lane because of how much they focus, giving Hector and Chris Luck these free neutrals, these free stacks and such. Hector take a big nuke out from that purification, toss back, but now the telekinesis is gone. Hector will TP to the shrine on the other side of the map, trying to be as efficient as possible. Hector always has really good reads about that stuff.
Yeah, are they going to swap lanes entirely then? If
And-
Hector makes a rotation up towards his top lane, I feel like they have to.
Yeah.
He has to go bottom.
Whisper is about to pick up level 7, so he's more
Chicken, they're gonna go on.
Old Chicken gonna be caught here. The snowball actually went up to the neutrals. Schofield just trying to get closer to Old Chicken, it seems, after the blur, but Old Chicken just can't get far enough away from Whisper with the eye shards to be able to finish him off. Whisper laying some damage out onto Old 11, but E is gonna pull back into the combo here. But they don't really have the damage to threaten this.
They wanna go on Dark right now.
Levels of the heal, and now they're going to be able to get the slowdown onto Dark. A fresh snowball is up. Shots got 1 or 2 left, but Cast just perfectly sent out at the last moment.
And a very good torrent at the same time. Otherwise, probably would have gotten the extra hit off the Witch Doctor to get the kill. E right now, not a whole lot of successful rotations. And he's going to get out-farmed by this TA in the jungle. He really wanted to make these plays work, but Enchantress just doesn't die in those positions.
No, she does not. It's like everybody's been going for the Nature's Attendance maxed out. It's so hard to challenge this hero, and Whisper is actually staying in this lane right now. We're going to be able to catch Dark, who's trying to protect his tower, gets vision up, but immediately Infamous kill him, make sure they get the bounty runes, and now Whisper's going to rotate over. He waits until they've secured the bounty runes first, and it looks like he may have just gotten 3 for his team, almost killing Kaka as well, but a fast reaction from Kaka that TPL Whisper knows the damage will come fast enough.
And they did swap the lanes out. During that entire time, Stinger was farming bottom. They didn't make the rotation until late, just because Whisper was able to get that kill and Hector defaulting to the jungle. And although Olven is doing the right thing right now, Cap. He's sitting on top of Hector, he's making his lane phase as annoying as possible. He knows that he TP'd up here, and Whisper TP'd at bottom, so they're reluctant to make the switch.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be in the one-on-one matchup against this Enchantress now that she actually has all the damage that comes out from Impetus. This up the first big maneuver here from Keen Gaming.
Oh, I like this move a lot.
Successful move to shut down Hector once again. They have done their research. They know exactly how Infamous likes to be able to play, and that is stacking the best thing possible for Hector. And with a rotation like this, they've secured at least 1/10 on him. And no rotation from Infamous. It looks like they're just going to leave Hector up dry potentially, as Stinger kind of rotates over, but Hector is going to be caught by another. He marks the spot, and he just stops moving. He knows his life is forfeit. And it's all space as Whisper tries to take down that bottom tier 1.
It's such a nice rotation because they see that Schofield is low in mid and he's fighting Old Chicken. They know he's not going to TP in. Whisper just TP into bottom lane. So not a lot of support coming from him, and that's part of what Wraith Kings rely on, is that fear that nobody will go them at all because of the counter rotations.
Yep.
But the timing of that was just almost too good for Keen not to take advantage of.
And that means Kane will not only kill the Wraith King, but they'll also, all that space that was given to the Enchantress to take that tower, they just even things out. Telekinesis is tossed back there. Going to be a lasso on Kafka, but not actually pulling him to the TA for fear of incoming hit. And Chris Love trying to, oh no, the Sentry already left, so immediately gets stunned up. Whisper's now in trouble. Nature's Attendant trying to save him. The snowball back into the team. Gonna hit the ball. He punched up there, but they all just get wiped in the river. Infamous completely misread that situation and bleed out heroes very rapidly.
There are 5 heroes right now on the side of Keen who want to take this mid tower. Infamous, maybe they just thought it was going to be some 3-on-3 where they could back him up, but everybody from Keen made the rotation over, and as a result, they're going to get rewarded with this mid tower. So crucial to the rest of the team, because against a team like Infamous that decides to go these Hands of Midases on their carry every game, you want to push this.
Yeah.
You want to get into his jungle. You want to force him out. Old 11 is a hard kill. He can do moves like this.
I mean, just little things like being able to take like one neutral camp away from this Wraith King. That's not going to be bad. Even body blocks these goes through and is going to try and catch more CS, just kills the skeletons.
Yeah, you have a TA that wants to farm one side of the triangle. You have a Wraith King that wants to farm the other. They don't have the easiest way to push out lanes. It's really just the Bat Rider 5 position does it, and he doesn't really have the levels to do it cleanly. So you're into a weird position where Stinger gonna run into 11, but they don't really have map pressure like they'd like to do.
Nice.
So losing the mid tower is pretty big.
They do manage to get the ob.
Oh, bottom lane.
Mark actually kills one as well. Oh, the melt mid there, an old chicken. Inches away into the trees. I don't think Chris Luck really thought he could get the kill there. And oh dear, he may be confident. He's coming in, trying to save the day. Ice shards. Okay, that's in the wrong direction. A little odd, but Chris Luck's gonna turn and try and fight Eve. But Coco jumps the Spirit Vessel. It's gonna be able to snowball into the neutrals, but again, Keen Gaming just bringing the extra heroes to be able to take the fight, ensuring that they will bring down Infamous every single time they meet these heroes. They know that Hector's too busy farming that as long as they 5-man, they'll be able to take any fight against Infamous. Now they're going to be able to catch Whisper as well with the Spirit Vessel, preventing a lot of that heal. The early pickup from E, just a smart read of this game and how to be able to dismantle Infamous.
And Infamous, it feels like they're rushing their moves. Going on a PA in that position, just as a solo, hey, you're almost definitely not going to get the kill.
Yeah,
if you look at the timer too, she was about to get another creep wave connecting to her, so she could have always just blinked back.
Look at this, I love this. They get kills like this, and then they're just immediately going to smoke to the other side of the map.
And the entire team is farming right now. You have a Tusk that's hitting neutrals, a Bat Rider that's hitting neutrals. Hector trying to push out this top lane because he knows that somebody has to.
That could not have been a more beautiful read. The sucker punch from Paka as he'd stolen that one away. He's even going to be able to get Nature's Attendant. Surprising that Whisper is still alive even through that Spirit Vessel. He just said, oh, that's the kill, and ran to look for more. Now he has to come back to make sure they finish the job. Whisper finally dies.
Did take quite a bit, and that's going to open up some space, but it never feels good having to trade deaths for space. And that's what Infamous has to do right now. They still have a pretty good gold advantage. Despite the fact that Keen has gotten the last 5 kills in a row, everyone just kind of farms really quickly on the side of Infamous. That's what Hector's known for, being put into these positions where his team gets behind early and kills and loses map control, but still finding space on the map.
Yeah, you pointed this out during the group stage, is that Hector is actually well regarded by a lot of the Western players as being a very proficient farmer.
And once he gets Radiance, the next time he will hit. But I sort of feel like with Wraith King, once you get the Radiance, if anything, it just speeds up your farming time even more.
Yep.
So you probably want to continue to hit creeps almost.
Yeah.
At least for the next 3 or 4 minutes after that. You want to take advantage of the fact that you can clear creeps so quickly. On one hand, you can use the skeletons that you spawn to farm one stack, and then you can push out the lane using the Radiance.
It almost feels like these Wraith Kings get Radiance, and then they just keep farming until they have like level 18 and like 1 or 2 items past that Radiance. They want to be able to reach that like really dangerous mid game that like Alchemists
Yeah, I don't think you're fighting this Kunkka heads on early.
No.
If you look at his item build, he's decided to go for the Spirit Vessel.
And that will mean that the scaling of King Gaming may fall off with the amount that they're 5-man running up map. You can see the win probability, though, heavily favoring the home team.
Yeah, I think the idea is that PA is going to outcarry any of them, which might not entirely be wrong. If you just look at the sheer lack of disables that they have for him.
Marks the spot on Schofield, no snowball, and he's going to be caught. A disable after disable. Snowball's going to come a bit too late unless the Sharks can separate the two, but there's just another X marks the spot.
Again, you just have to trade deaths for space. What they're trying to do is divert them away from the towers at cap.
They are kind of doing that. They've only lost 2 towers so far, but surely, like, Keen is still keeping up in net worth, and at some point in time, especially with the PA Battle Fury, you're gonna reach this really big power spike, and you should be just be able to start mowing down towers. Bebby said he would be surprised to see the PA Battle Fury. Why do you think Old Chicken went for it this game?
I think almost all PAs in situations like this would go Battle Fury. It feels as a farming mechanic, it makes it so that you don't feel so all in the mid game. It's just one of those items, like, it feels good all around because it gives you mana regen too.
Yeah. Do we get see from Old Chicken current predicament? Definitely a little bit more mana. Stinger going for the crit right now, being chased by Yee's
They're just going
Kunkka.
for Roche.
Deep in the opening back here. Stinger is going to get spotted finally. He actually blasts OTP away. Q plant by Stinger does manage to spot on a space, but the team is focusing on Roshan. As we've been talking about, doesn't look like Infamous is looking for a fight.
What's weird is this was a first pick, what else? The cores are physical damage dealers. This is like the weirdest read that I've seen in a draft.
Yeah.
They're like, we know all your heroes. It fits into this category. PA is going to be against all of them.
Keen. Smoked immediately after the Rose shot. Hoping to be able to catch somebody here, but all the important heroes on the other side of the map. Whisper is pushing out the bottom lane while the Wraith King farms at the jungle area. Just about to complete his Radiant, but King Gaming knows no reason to slow anything down. They just want to make sure that Stinger doesn't actually catch anything. Oh, they do have the X on. He's going to be pulled back after a quick kill.
Side lane push out. We've seen this often from the side of Infamous. They want to avoid these fights early on, and they're even pushing this bottom two towers. Gensons are going to work, but he really TP back. He wants to continue the pressure. Mid lane Schofield almost
Does get done, but notice save.
and they're just buying a really good time right now.
Yeah.
Taking the tower up at top. There's a BK on this Templar Assassin, and finish the Radiance. This is pretty good item timings, despite not getting a kill for so long.
I think King Gaming have almost focused on trying to catch these heroes. They're pushing them, and just there is a lack of objective pushing, right?
Yeah,
on the
that's
side
what
of
Bebby
King,
says too.
don't have great heroes to hit towers.
He wanted something that could hit towers.
Yeah.
In the draft is the last pick, but they decided for the Omni Knight. You have a very 5-man heavy lineup as a result. With the Spirit Vessel on the Kunkka, it's going to work in the first 3 minutes of the game. Eventually, this build, it'll start to fall off.
It seemed like a cute idea, especially with the way that he could like X marks and then defend that like bottom lane push by just one shot and then back to the mid lane he goes, or the way he tried to hunt down the Bat Rider to prevent him from being able to push. But in the end, addressing just one of these lanes hasn't been enough. There's always been a second lane that's being pushed in and objectives being bled away.
The one thing about it is Infamous is out farming them across the board, and they're going to grab this tier 2 tower, so somehow, despite not getting any kills, they're just getting more towers than King Gaming. But what it does come down to in Dota and this TI is the team fights. So we'll see if they keep up in that department. Physical damage dealing core lineup, and there's an Omni Knight on one side, and you've got Blur on the PA. Naturally, very good.
Yeah, it's definitely like Infamous. They can split push all that once, but you pretty much always in order to win a game of Dota, have to be able to beat the enemy team in a team fight. Infamous are going to have to take that eventually, and it's going to be against a Deso PA. So that's closing in pretty quickly. Going back for the minus on Whisper. He says this is going to be a long one, and I'm going to plan accordingly.
I would agree because Keen doesn't have catch. If your offlaner doesn't come with catch, it usually means that you're not going to take the easiest of fights. You just sort of have to fight. You don't have that option to roam with 2 heroes and get kills easily. So you're going to run into the BKB TA. This might be the worst target for them to run into.
Yeah, to be able to get off the BK, comes to the back line, but there's going to be safe. I mean, Kaka's going to be okay for now until big punch from Schofield will be able to finish while Schofield will be sacrificed in turn as paralyzing down both Hector and now Whisper, but they're going to show up. Benji going to stun on Old 11. Look at that damage coming out. Panthers, Grace won't save you, my friend. On the night falls, and Chris going to be able to more. Chicken, he's target to be able to jump way too, and he's got one in Yi, but a big shot from the Infinite. It does is the dust snowballing in. Charts forward, the Ray Fire Blast nails the PA, can't be overwhelming. They're what a dive this is. This is a dive that will be able to win the fight.
They're going to shroud the PA right now. Ulted by the Predator, no further go.
Absolutely no, it bumps over to the Conca, but they had the ice shards well in place to be able to block her
Take
out.
this tower.
More dead, and yeah, here two's gonna fall just like that.
And Infamous has answered the question. All they needed was that one team fight. They didn't get a kill for something like 12 minutes, and it happened in a hurry. And 23 minutes in, they're threatening for the 2-3.
Do a little bit of damage, not trying to push their luck, and I think that's something that, you know, Infamous, and there were points where I think they got a little undisciplined. They lost some of the games because of that, but one thing they really didn't do too much was try and put high ground before they were actually ready, and this is a good example of that. Maybe it's just because in part of how much they like to be able to farm as we look back at the fight and see Old Chicken just trying to escape after escape. But Infamous, you see Keen, you know, lacking catch. Infamous has a plethora of it.
Yeah, the power of South America Dota, I mean, they're able to just follow up so easily. They have stun after stun. They've got multiple ways to close. They've got blink daggers aplenty.
Haste!
And I feel like Keen, they don't miss their timing window by 5-manning too much. They would often take these smoke ganks where they just run to one hero.
Don't
It
do
took them way
that.
too long to Whipper when they did run into the jungle and found him. And all it really did was open up space for his 2 side lane cores.
Look at that.
And the one thing that we know about Infamous is like they farm really well,
Yeah.
and really efficiently. And it almost feels like Keen, they got way too gun shy. Once they got the Aegis, they weren't really willing to commit for the push. Kept dealing with the side lane assault, and it just lost them so much time. But they're gonna go for the 5-man again. I think they're sort of resigned to the fate with the item builds and the type of heroes that they have. They've got to go for this raid boss PAP. But even having an Omni Knight behind her, she still needs a BKB.
And their goal, right, is to be able to convince Infinite to come back and fight them. But Infinite are refusing to do so and just keep pushing the other side of the map. So eventually, they may be the ones to come back in style. They're going to try and defend this here to at least get a team fight out of it. Going to be a little slow to arrive. As Kaka does manage to get the telekinesis, has a Ray Fire Blast to be able to get the chain done.
They're committing to this fight.
They don't really want to jump Hector right away. They're not going to overly commit into this reincarnation. They finish him up, then start retreating, especially with that Heavenly Grace on Old Chicken, allowing him to back away from these blows easily. The X-Marks just allows him to be able to jump back in, but the toss is off. Actually, behind and down the last one, Old Chicken fades away. Nice fast from the Heavenly Grace, but there goes that on the ultimate. And we feel the bite. Sometimes the pure damage comes from the Enchantress, doing so much. So Kicking actually has to back away. They're lacking on damage in this set. They're going to march forward, catch whatever heroes they can. That's only going to be on the night for now. As Infamous say, great attack. We got a tier 2. We didn't lose the team. Let's back up, control the map again.
That is a very head-scratching decision to try to go on Hector, who he already has the ultimate. And this is not an easy kill either. Opted to go for the Blade Mail so that he could just get a little bit more armor and to try to trade Keen from going in on him. And Keen, they really rely on that Coco's Rum. So when they threw in the boat just to take out the first life, it's so hard for them to get any sort of follow-up damage.
Yeah, it's like if they could have actually brought him down without that, and then commit the boat into the second life and take that big team fight would have been fantastic. You saw how low Hector got in that second life, but it was just too much as that Schofield snowball, and then the damage comes out from the Enchantress. Threat PA's life. Once the PA's out of that fight, Keen is not left.
And you see smiles abound on the side of Infamous. They're happy about this game. They know the pace of the game is definitely favoring them right now. And for Keen, it almost feels like they're feeling the pressure. They're going for these ill-advised 5-mans, and they're taking whatever fights present themselves, but they really need a KB on the PA. Even though the Boulder is very good, they're just sort of chunking her down with magic damage.
Perhaps the pressure of being able to play in front of the home crowd is getting to Keen. They've gotten so gun-shy. They just don't want to be making any mistakes. They're playing not to lose rather than playing to win. And they're only looking at victory right now with 8,000 net worth lead at 27 minutes in. Very few kills, but that's been to Infamous' advantage with all of these hand Midases and farming heroes.
Yeah, and they've got a BKB now on the Wraith King too. I mean, they're in prime position in this game. Could you imagine if I told you that this is what was going to happen? Infamous for most teams, and for most analysts, the bottom two team, for a lot of teams, it'd be a free draw. But I mean, they're proving they don't roll over for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Compared to our previous best of one with Team Liquid there, I'm sure Keen thought they were pretty fortunate to be able to get Infamous instead. But as you see, the South American powerhouse is proving not to just roll over. They will have a fight though. Keen, nice snowball coming out. Schofield gonna be the safe place for winning. Actually get him out and then pouring the boat. Almost enough. He is able to get the final swing. Now a stolen lasso coming out from Kaka as he does manage to grab Chris Luck, taking away a lot of that BKB timing. Infamous know that with Whisper gone, they can no longer take this fight confidently. They're gonna try and retreat. Make sure they don't lose any. Schofield will manage to slide away with that Blink Dagger.
Rokon is up though, and they're peeking in that area. Old Chicken already gonna start this for his team. Enchantress doesn't have buyback yet, and with no lasso on the board, Infamous might be more reluctant to take this fight with no EKBs. The boat gonna run in.
About to come back in. Looking at that Chris Luck. What a snowball on Old 11 and Kaka controlling Mount the telekinesis. Prospect was held in some control, but it's not good enough. Stinger flying over them. On the side, we do have their chase away this touch as best as possible. Use the Melt Strike after Melt Strike after Melt Strike. Chris Luck coming down dark again. Now Old 11. Schofield's trying to get away, still away from that edge versus spot. But look at him now. He's punching. He's saying, you can't finish me up, boyo. I've got the Walrus Punch. That's the touch that Infamous need to claim Roshan.
And now this half HP Roche is just there for free. Infamous just thoroughly outplaying Keen right now. They're consistently getting to the back line. Keen can't protect either of the support right now. It feels like this Omni Knight's job is too complicated. His head is on a swivel right now. He's trying to get to his cores. He has to turn around to help his supports out. And they're just going to go for it right now. There is a glove available, but with so much time left, this Punka 36 seconds until he respawns, doesn't have buyback. They're going to take this tower very quickly with the Desto.
They certainly are, especially after getting out some skeletons. 12 seconds on that. 20 seconds on Kunkka. We have a fresh BKB on the Phantom Assassin.
He needed one so bad. The Omni has to be able to protect the backline.
It just seems like Keen in that last Roshan fight, probably not expecting Infamous to take the fight to them 4 versus 5. Got a little lax in their positioning around the pit.
Good. And the supports got completely caught out, and suddenly the numbers advantage swung the other way.
I mean, just dark immediately out of the fight with Chris Luck executing him. Then they just get stuck in this funnel of death in the river area. Infamous are going to be able to work really well around between the Radiance Burn, the Firefly that from Stinger where he can play on the cliffs. Scope being faced by E this entire time, but at multiple ways to be able to save himself with ice shards and snowballs.
By the way, if you just check the amount of farm that Chris Luck has, he has an MKB and a Daedalus completed up. 100 gold on top of that.
That is massive, and he's being greedy too. He's holding on to the Aegis and the cheese, even with the Desto, or the Daedalus rather, in his backpack.
And you can see the distress on Yee's face. When they flash to him, he can sense that this game is rapidly getting out of hand. sense it slipping away. And Infamous, I mean, they're getting stronger as the minute passes by. They're marching down mid, and they've got 2 lives on their TA. They've 2 lives on the Wraith King. There's so much that Keen has to deal with just to win a team fight at this point.
Schofield making drives up to the top lane and bottom lane. I think he just wants to be able to hem Keen in as much as possible.
Look at discipline from Infamous.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It looked like he kind of just wanted to go straight into that bottom lane of barracks through the lane, but Schofield said, it's not the time. We still have shrines, guys. We have plenty of time on this Aegis. There's no need to rush things.
They are looking like such a veteran team right now.
Yeah.
They're pushing in the lane before they go for some sort of blind push. And that's what Keen did. If you recall, Keen sort of just went for it down mid while their 2 side lanes were in distress. But Infamous is being caught on this. All their lanes in a good position, and now they're just going to go for it.
Hector starts banging up through Slow. Not doing him too much, making a shot or 2. Just feel wrong. He's going to jump forward immediately. Take out Kong, popping his BKB. For his next target, the Heaven's Halberd is to be able to buy some time for Dark, but not long enough as he just gets 2.
The level 25 talent.
That's a double kill for Chris Luck with the Melt Strike, getting the bashes in on the finally forced to be able to throw out his ultimate, but now he's being pulled back and all that even triple kill for Chris Luck. He looks for his next target, the boat coming in. He's gonna take his time, backing. Has a blink dagger coming back in. Looking at just jump in and finish up. Gofield, another Heaven's Halberd on to Chris Luck, stalling up this damage. Old Chicken tries to throw daggers after him with his Templar Assassin with the refraction.
They're going for Megas now.
Yeah, they're just gonna go for the Megas. They're gonna force reaction out of King Gaming. They say you'll have to fight right at Arena 3 versus 5 or Megas is ours.
And they've already taken the top racks with the skeletons, and bottom surely to follow. 33 minutes in, they took Megas.
Because of the yes, got a free jump onto the Kunka just like that. He managed to get the mids, and then Old 11 he gets executed quick on the spot. He blow down, flies the cap. Though phone on top of it, Chris Luck does take a large share of this damage. Does have the Aegis though, and he's okay with this, especially didn't kill Old Chicken. Infinite after Infinite coming in from Whisper. Final to finish off the PA. She fights back, but Keen getting stuck inside their fence, and Hector says, "That's where I want to go. I want to go all the way into the fountain. I want to bump some more nerves," but he knows maybe just overstepped himself a little bit. They do have the snowball. Now they come down to the fountain. Hector's running short and fight. Quickly taking the PA. Thanks to Whisper laying out the damage. It's King Gaming are forced into the fountain, and then that GG Gaming. Paul the GG Infamous. Make it past the best of 1.
Unbelievable. South America, you have your champions. They have secured themselves a top 12 berth at this international.
They fulfilled every expectations that people had for the South American team.
Itu tadi pertandingan Kin Gaming melawan Infamous. Kin Gaming harus tereliminasi karena kalah ini tadi dari tim tabrak dari Infamous Gaming dengan Wraith King ya. Wraith Kingnya keren sih ini, dan Templar Assassinnya juga sakit banget tadi damage-nya. Kita istirahat dulu. Abis ini pertandingan terakhir hari ini ya. Mineski akan berhadapan dengan Navi. Stay tune guys.